What's up everyone, some guy here with another Alliance War video. Season 23, war number 1, first war of the new season. We are up against BRJP. I've never really heard of them, but they did finish in Masters last season, so I would assume they are a pretty tough alliance. But going up, first up here we have Ebony Maw on Ebb and Flow Knockdown. Very easy, quick fight, quick and shake, or shake and bake fight. Just gotta parry right before the aftershock timer to get rid of the stubborn, and also use a heavy attack when he's stunned and concussed to get rid of the ebb and flow node altogether. And moving on to the next fight, we have Havok here, pretty much on the same nodes, also a heavy hitter. Havok, you just have to be really good at repairing. I'm going to use Guillotine 2099 to ramp her up with this fight. Sometimes the annoying part with versing Havok on heavy hitter is that sometimes when you want to reparry the second hit, he'll either throw like a medium, which is also not parry stunnable, or he will just start throwing his heavy, so you have to kind of watch out for that. Right here I got really lucky. I kind of forgot about the heavy hitter node, but I was very fortunate he didn't punish me for it. I like baiting out Havok's SP2 just because it's, for me it's easier, and plus I can bait out less specials, if that makes sense. But mainly just getting a lot of reparries to get the knockdowns so I can get the passive fury. Right there I got the knockdown, but the passive fury didn't trigger on me. I was a little confused at first, but I believe he was stunned when I knocked him down, so my mastery kind of kicked in and just shut down the node by itself, which was pretty nice. Over earlier I got hit by a little bit. I think I just missed a parry for some reason, but luckily it wasn't punched too badly. But for the most part, this fight is pretty straightforward. As long as you don't mess up like I did, you'll be fine. Next up here we have Tigra on a steady build of Fury and Power Alternator. I will be using Torch here without the pre-fight ability. I am saving a pre-fight for a fight in Tier 2. Tigra's animations are pretty wild. I think she's mainly placed there because she also has heavy hitter node, so if you miss a parry in the beginning and she starts throwing her heavies around, I think you can get cornered pretty easily and pretty fast, and you don't really want to get cornered by Tigra because she'll just go all out on you. But with Torch, can't really go wrong versing a Mystic. She just melts pretty quickly even without the pre-fight ability. Plus this is just a 5-star as well. And moving on here, we have Man Thing Mini on a Power Snack and Backup Recovery. I'm just going to be using Quick and Bake, just a really easy style. Just got to parry everything. Sometimes you just have to... I'm not too good, to be honest, with Shake and Bake. I'm better with I'm better with Quick and Shake than Quick and Bake. Just because with the parries, you have to get the timings pretty much spot on. When the opponent is close to you, sometimes they'll be throwing light attacks, so you have to parry a little bit faster versus them using medium attacks and then a light attack. So that's just one thing you have to look out for. But for the most part, it's very easy, Quick and Bake. Just gotta make sure you don't miss any parries. Moving on to tier 2, we have this Rhino here on Ebb and Flow Intercept. Normally I would use Quake against him, but because my Guillotine 29 is ramped up, I figured she will make the fight faster. Plus, this one is a 6-star rank 2 duped. I was kind of worried I might Quake my timeout since I'm not running suicides. So I just boosted up a little bit and going with Guillotine 29 and threw on the stability function to try and negate some of the block damage I'll be taking since he is a stubborn defender. So the plan against Rhino is just to try and keep him close so he doesn't trigger as unblockable as many times. But I also want to push him to SP2s just because sometimes I'll be able to evade it without triggering stubborn. I was being kind of greedy and used my SP2s, or I was trying to spam my SP2s to try and finish the fight, but I don't think it's necessary because I do get hit here from the unblockable since the SP2 does create some distance. So now my combo shield is gone. So I'm trying to make a new one by pairing, but he goes unblockable again. So now my combo is gone completely. So now I gotta ramp her up again, and now I'm kind of fighting against the time. I'm kind of worried that I'm not gonna make it in time with trying to ramp her up again. So now I just gotta spam a bunch of SP2s and also try and finish the fight. Right here, he goes unblockable like 2 times in a row. Luckily, I was able to read the text and dex it in time before he hits me and cost my combo again. If I lose my combo again, it's probably it's gonna be a timeout for sure. So as you can see, once Guillotine 2099 is built up or ramped up, she gets the fight down pretty fast. Right here, I do make a terrible mistake and use my SP2 when he's kind of close to the end here. So now I'm like, okay, I need to get to an SP3 before he dies. I'm trying to utilize the stubborn node to try and hit him when he's indestructible to build up my power. But it doesn't really go quite as I plan. So right here, he's really low health, so I'm trying to bait out a special. Okay, he's indestructible, and I can get some combos in. I'm really close to an SP3. I'm like, okay, that's it. Oh, nope. Yep. He just dies from the degen, unfortunately. So I was so close to pressing that SP3 button before he dies, but did not make it, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to try and ramp her up with another fight. Moving on here to Mojo, pretty much on the same notes, but on redoubled determination. This is why I saved my pre-fight for, since Torch's pre-fight is not a debuff, his Nova Flame, I mean, so I don't have to worry about the redoubled determination node at all. I don't really play too well against Mojo in this fight, but he gets the fight down. This is a rank 3 Torch, so I didn't have too much to worry about. I just have to intercept, I think, a few times to get the passive Fury to do more damage, but for the most part, Mojo pretty much melts against Torch. And moving on to the mini boss island here, we have Immortal Hulk on I think the regeneration node. Recovery, yeah, and vigorous assault. But I think his regen is passive. But I had to brush up on Immortal Hulk for a little bit, so I had to read his abilities. But my plan is to try and ramp up my Guillotine 2099 with him. But it does look like he becomes unstoppable. I'm sorry, unblockable for 8 seconds towards the end, right before he dies, and then he regens like a ton of health. With the node, he's probably gonna regen up to like full health again, and he has a 50-second cooldown. So basically, I have to kind of ramp up my combo up, and then try and get him down within that 50-second cooldown, and use my SP3 to knock him out, or else he's just gonna keep regenning, which is not good. I think he is a stubborn defender, so but his SP1 is fairly easy to evade without triggering stubborn. But that's the plan for the game. Oh, and I forgot to mention, at this point, we've pretty much already lost a war. Our opponents only died about 4 times this entire war, and they've already finished every battle group, I believe. So which is why I didn't top off Guillotine 2099. Alright, so right here we're getting close to his immortal ability here. Yeah, he becomes unblockable. I just have to make sure I don't get hit. I'm just gonna dance around to prevent me from getting hit or losing my combo, which is probably the worst. And yeah, his regeneration just shoots right back up to 100%. So right now I'm just racing against his cooldown time. There's a little gray icon up top. I think it's about 50 seconds. So I just have to pretty much get him down almost dead with an SP3 to finish it off before his cooldown finishes, or else he's just gonna regen. His immortal ability is just gonna kick in again. So his timer is getting really close to finishing, and I really need to bait out his specials, but he does throw a heavy attack. So I'm just trying to bait out his special before his timer runs out, and I finally get it in just in time. I think at the time I was like, did I get it in time? I wasn't sure, and I saw the 0% on his health, and I was like, okay, I just got it in time. It was a very close fight. All right, so now that Guillotine 29 is ramped up, I can finally test her out against this Apocalypse, this rank 3 Apocalypse on Stunning Reflection and a Polka Dot node. We've already lost this war, but I still wanted to try and see if I can get the solo with her on this node, just for future references. So going to this fight, my plan is basically not parry him, of course, but also bait out his or push him to SP2s and bait out his SP2s and evade the first two energy balls, and then parry or try and parry the third energy ball, and then just that dex the rest of it and try not to trigger stubborn. The parry on the third energy ball should deactivate the stubborn. It should work out on this one here. I was a little late on the dex of the second part of his SP2, so it still triggers stubborn, but that's basically my game plan for this fight. Right here, I don't know what happened, but luckily I didn't get punished that bad. The SP1 does take some damage, but not too bad for the most part. And this is my last fight in this war, so I didn't really have to worry about ramping her up or anything. But yeah, for the most part, it went pretty well. I was pretty happy with the solo. We did end up losing this war. They were a very tough alliance. I think they died only 4 times throughout the whole war, so congrats to them. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.